so much for joining us on your weekend, giving up your precious family time. We really do appreciate that. And we've got a few things to talk to you about, but I promise I won't talk to you for more than 20 minutes. I'll try hard. And what we hope by the end of this session is that you'll know what we're trying to do at DBS and how we're going to be the best. But before I start, I'd like to say a very big thank you to Kuhn Arn and the family for welcoming me so warmly into their family. I feel a part of the group already, and I've only been here a few days. So thank you for making me feel so welcome. It's wonderful to be here and to stand here. I feel very proud and very privileged to be the principal of this wonderful school that we're going to create. So before we go into the slides, I just want to tell you two things about me. The first thing that I'd like you to know is that I'm a mother. I have a daughter. She's a big girl now. She's 21, same size as me. But she's still my baby. She's still my little girl. And I know how important it is to make the right decisions for your children. I understand that because I've been on that journey. And I live it every day with the families at my school in Dubai. So I understand that you want to do the best for your children, and I appreciate that because it's one of the biggest decisions you'll make. So you need to be sure that you're making the right one. And I hope today will help you to feel comfortable with that. The second thing I'd like to tell you about me is that I think I'm very lucky because the work I do every day in schools with children and teachers, it's my passion. I love it. And I think that helps to be the best, because when you're passionate about what you do it to the best of your ability. It's not just a job for me. Going to school is not just a job. I enjoy it. I love it every single day because children challenge us in new ways every day, don't they? Being a parent, being an educator, it's not easy. Children are challenging, and that's exciting, and that's what makes being a parent wonderful. And that's what makes being an educator wonderful. So as the principal of this wonderful new school, I'm going to talk to you about four main areas. I just need my clicker out of my pocket. And the first area that we're going to talk about is how we're going to make sure that this wonderful school is the best in Thailand, because that is our vision. Our vision is for Denver British School to be the best school in Thailand. And you can't have the best school without having the best teachers. And I've found a lot of teachers over the years, and I know what I'm looking for, and I'm going to let you into my secret. Everybody who I sit with to talk to about joining my team, I expect them to have all the right qualifications, and I expect their CVs to be impressive. That's an expectation. When I sit with a teacher and they say, I'd like to come and work at your school, I look for something different. I look for the passion, the twinkle in their eye when they talk about their children in their classes and their learning. And I ask them to bring things to show me. So I'll say, when you come to talk to me, when you come for your interview, please bring me a photograph of your classroom. I want to see what it looks like in your classroom. I can't go and visit them all. Please bring me some of the children's learning that you're really proud of, because I want to see the difference you're making to those children in your class every day. Please come and show me when you come to meet me. And I also say, bring me your planning. Teachers have to plan their lessons, and I want to see if they're planning in an outstanding way. And then we talk. And this is how I make sure I find the best teachers. And it's a good way of doing it. And I promise you, we will find the best teachers for Denver British School. One of the things that we say an outstanding school has to do is that everybody in the school has to be a learner. So at the moment, I only know 2 Thai words. Sawadee-ka and Kokum-ka. They're the only two words I know at the moment. But I will get better, I promise you I'll learn more words. You can help me. And if everybody in the school is a learner, then we're setting a good example for children. And teachers need to learn as well. Yes, they come with their qualifications and their experience and all the things they know, but if they stay still, that's no good. We need them to get better and better. And that's what we promise the teachers who will join us at Denmark. So that's how we're going to start off. We're going to find the right people and we're going to have an outstanding curriculum. Because outstanding teachers need to deliver an outstanding curriculum for your children. And what does that mean? We know the English National Curriculum is a good curriculum, but we're not just taking that. We're looking at what the best independent schools do in the UK, and we're taking all of that and all of the best bits of the English National Curriculum, and we're creating something that's very special and very unique and a very good quality, the best quality of curriculum that you can get. And it's broad and it's balanced and it's varied and it's exciting, and our amazing teachers will deliver it in an outstanding way. And when your children are young, say in reception when they're 5 years old, you want them to learn in the right way for them. But you also want them to have other experiences. So our school day will include all of that. So yes, they'll do their learning, and their learning will go beyond the end of the day as well. We'll talk about that in a little bit more detail in a minute. You always want to know, as a mum and a dad, how well your children are doing, don't you? You want to know, are they doing well? How do I know they're doing well? And we want you to know that, and we want you to know that easily, and we want you to know that as often as you would like. So we're going to be saying to you, come on in to the classroom every week if you like, and we will show you your children's progress. We'll show it you in their books, we'll show it you on the walls, and we'll show it you in their grades. And we'll celebrate what they can do together. But I promise you that your children will not feel stressed by that. They'll feel happy, they'll feel proud, because we'll make sure we're delivering that very amazing curriculum in the right way for your child at their age. So if they're 5, they don't want to be worried about doing tests, but you need to know they're learning. We're very clever as teachers at assessing children in just the right way to make sure you know what you need to know, but they don't feel anxious about it. And that will be the magic that we will do with your children. And all of that, the last bullet point says values driven. Denmark British School will be a family, and it will be based on family values. And by that I mean all of the things that are important to you. They'll be kind to each other at school. There'll be respect. They will listen. They will take turns. They will do all the things that you expect them to do at home. They will do them at school as well. Okay, I'd like you to cast your minds back to when you were at school. And if you can remember learning your times tables, just give me a smile. Can you remember learning your times tables? It's not a great memory, is it? Because for most of us, learning our times tables, I'll explain this in a minute, don't worry. Learning our times tables was pretty tough because there were a lot. And we had to go up to 12 times 12, and that was tough when we were little. Some of us will have learned the times tables by learning a song. Some of us might have done that. That was quite good fun, actually. If you had a rhyme or a song to sing to help you remember them. But lots of us will have just been chanting them over and over. 1, 2 is 2, 2, 2 is a 4, 3, 2 is a 6. We remember that, right? And lots of us will have been tested and had tests every week to remember the times tables, and it was stressful and we didn't like it, but we had to learn it because we knew we needed to know the times tables. Well, that's okay because we know them now, but I would like to suggest that when you're remembering things, if this is learning, when you're remembering things, you are just paddling in the water. You're right on the surface, okay? And at Denler, we are going to learn things. Of course we're going to learn things, but we're going to learn things in a deeper way. So, I'll come back to this picture in a minute. We all know that 3 times 3 is 9. We remember because it was drilled into our brains. We also know that 9 divided by 3 is 3 because we start to understand what groups of 3 means. And I apply my knowledge of my 3 times table into my division. So I'm applying that knowledge. So when I go back to my picture here, so when I'm working out my division based upon my times tables, my learning goes deeper because I've remembered it, I started to paddle, but then when I apply it to my division, I'm starting to snorkel because my learning is going deeper, because I'm joining my learning together. But if I'm in the playground and I'm starting to use my multiplication tables, my division, and I'm working out a problem with my friend, then I'm deep sea diving because I'm joining all that learning together, I understand it, and I can apply it to a problem with my friends when I'm sharing out my snack. So that shows you how learning needs to go deeper and deeper. I'm going to give you another example because we want our children to learn English, and we want them to learn English well. So to begin with, when you're learning a language, you learn some words. I'm up here right now with my tie. I only know swipe car and cockney car. That's all I know. I'm paddling. I'm right here. I'm actually further back than him. I'm right on the edge here. Okay? But when your children start to understand phrases and they start to use them with their friends and their teachers and they start to communicate, their learning is going a bit deeper. Okay? But when they come home and talk to you and teach you some English that they know, they're bringing their learning home, they're applying it in a different place at home with you, and they're saying, Mum and Dad, I can talk to you in English, let me teach you. When you teach someone, your learning has gone very, very deep, and that means that their learning is much, much more than just being tested on some words. Okay? That's what we're going to do at Denler. We're going to teach your children the knowledge and the skills, but then we're going to make it go deeper so that it stays with them and they can apply it and be confident. That's going to be the Denler difference. So, at Denler, we have 3 parts to the school. There's pre-prep, and that's from reception up to year 2. So when you're 5, you're 6, and you're 7 years old, you're in pre-prep. And the learning in pre-prep is structured play. We create play-based opportunities for children to interact with, and adults help them explore and learn using lots and lots of language and lots of play. And they come home and you say, what did you learn today? And they say, I just played all day. And we say, we did a good job because we made the learning feel like play. If we did that, we did a good job for the little ones. When they get a bit older and they go into the prep school, that's year 3 to year 8. Okay? So that's a big part of their journey. And we start to introduce more specialist lessons. We have science teachers, we obviously have teachers of the English and higher. They might go into groups for their maths as they get higher and higher into the prep school. And then we get a bit more serious in the senior school from year 9 all the way through to year 13. And we're preparing them for those very important GCSEs and A-levels, ready for that big step towards university. It might feel far away. Trust me, it's not. Those years go very quickly. And we need to have our eye on what's coming. Because the thing that we want is this. We need these children, your children, our children, to be confident, to go to university, finish their degree and be ready for life. That's your ultimate aim, isn't it, as parents? To have children who are ready to be independent and live their life. And that's the journey that we're going to take your children on at Denver. These things we're going to call our Denver Learner Profile, and this is the how we're going to do what we do. So we've got the what, we've got the curriculum, and it's unique and it's exciting and it's different. But we can do more than one thing at once. We can learn skills and knowledge and have deep understanding, but we can learn some of these things as well. So, whilst children are learning, they've not just got their head in a book, they're learning to work as a team. They're learning to be a leader. They're learning to collaborate. They're learning to ask really good questions. And they do that as part of their learning. So we learn the what, the curriculum, but we do it through this learner profile. And this is the how. We get the learning to be the highest levels and the best standards. And these are some of the things that your children will do beyond the school day. Because one of the other things that's different at Denver is that our day is longer than the other schools in Thailand, in Bangkok. Our day is extended. So they'll have up to 2 hours extra of their learning. But it will be different kind of learning. It will be applying skills and concepts and knowledge into clubs and co-curricular activities. And they might do the Duke of Edinburgh Award when they're in the senior school. They might join an English language club and they might write the DBS magazine as one of their clubs. They might be an eco-warrior and help the school to save energy and be greener and get the Green Flag Award. They might do all those things. They might join a class where they really learn how to debate and use their English language in a different way to present an argument. They can do all of these things after school, and you won't need to take your children off to different places for different clubs. So there's no more picking up from school and going off for a ballet lesson. Your children will be able to access these things on the school site as part of their extended day. That makes your life easier, and it makes your children's lives smoother. It means you're travelling less, and it means you get everything in one place. And that's also something that's different about Denver. So we're talking about academic excellence, and we're talking about getting results. What does that mean? That means you want your children to be the best they can be. I want that. All the teachers want that. We want your children to have all those brilliant assessments, test results, exams in one bag that they have. But we also want them to have another bag of skills so that if they fall out with their friend in the playground, they know what to do, they know how to talk about it, they know how to get help if they need it, they know how to work as a member of a team. And all of these skills go with the test results and the exam results so that you've got a young person who can function very capably in the world. And that's what we talk about when we talk about developing the whole child. And that's holistic education. Success is not a secret at Denver. We will tell you what your children need to do to get better at what they're doing. We'll give you their targets, we'll tell you what they're learning, we'll give you a list of all the books they need. We will share that with you at the right time so that you've got just enough information to move your children on in the right way, at the right time. Class sizes will be small, 22 from year 1 to year 9, from year 1 to year 11, and 15 in reception, and 16 in year 12 and year 13. Those are great class sizes to get the maximum output from your children. They'll belong to their house, so they'll be a member of their class, they'll be a member of their house, there'll be 6 different houses, They'll all be different colours. We'll make mascots and we'll decide what we're going to call them with your children. We'll decide all those things together. But the most important gift we're going to give your children is this one. A growth mindset. What does that mean? That means instead of saying something like, I'm no good at maths, I can't do it. I used to say that. I'm still not very good at maths, but I'm trying to change my mindset. It's been with me for a long time. Because I realised it's not my fault. The reason I don't think I'm very good at maths is because the teachers that taught me made me feel that way. If I'd have said to my maths teacher, I can't do algebra, it's too hard, I don't get it. If they'd have said, Alison, you can't do it yet, but you will be able to do it, I might have tried a bit harder. And that's what we want. We want your children to feel that they can do anything. They can achieve everything that they want to achieve with your support and our guidance, working together as a team. You can't do it yet, but you will be able to. And I want you to start saying that in your families at home with your children. You can't do it yet, but you will be able to. So I'm going to challenge your thinking now, and I'm going to suggest to you that if you get 10 out of 10, or 100 out of 100 in all the tests that you do, I'm going to suggest to you that we've not done a good enough job as teachers because we've made the learning too easy. If you get 10 out of 10 every time, I'm not stretching you enough. I'm not challenging you to try harder because you're always getting 10 out of 10. You might feel nice for a while, but actually you get lazy if you get 10 out of 10 every time, and you think, I can do everything, and you stop trying. So I'd rather you get 7 or 8 out of 10, and you think, oh, I need to keep trying that little bit more, that little bit harder, to get the 10 out of 10 next time. But I'm going to keep making it harder, right? So that you might get 9 out of 10 and 10 out of 10, but then I'm going to move it on. And I'm going to make the learning harder and harder, so that you're progressing more and more in your learning. So, when you're praising your children, I don't want you to say, brilliant, you got 10 out of 10. I want you to start saying, I think you need something a little bit harder. I think you need some more challenging learning. And it changes the way you think. Because you move the expectations, always move the expectations, make them higher. Because children will live up or down to our expectations, to your expectations. They will reach the heights that you believe they can, that we believe they can, if you tell them. That's the beauty of being an educator and a parent. Okay, now this is very important, because I talked about my passion at the start of this presentation. And I think one of my jobs is to help your children find their passion. So you look at these images on the screen, and I want your children to believe that they can be an Olympic athlete, if that's what they want. I want them to believe that they can be a writer, an author, a poet, a scientist, an artist, an actor and an actress. If that's what they want, then who are we to stop them? Let's make sure they believe that they can be the Prime Minister of England if they want to be. Anything is possible if we believe it enough. And our job as parents and educators is to help children find their passion so that they live happy, successful lives. Because that's what we want, isn't it? We want them to be happy and we want them to be successful. Because then we know we've done our job. Some of you might want this. You might want your children to go to an independent school in the UK perhaps. And if you do, we'll help them get there. We'll do the common entrance preparation for you with them, if that's what you want. Some of you will stay with us and your children will leave Denler at the age of 18 and we'll help them get into the best universities. We'll help prepare them for that. They'll have guidance and counselling about careers and what courses to take to help them get where they want to be. If they want to be a doctor or a lawyer, whatever they want to be, will help them get there. Because this is our goal. Your children are the future world leaders. They are the future entrepreneurs of Thailand or wherever they choose to be. And at Denver British School, we're going to help them get there. So I'm going to tell you a little story now about how we help young children feel and be entrepreneurs. So I'm in year 5, I'm 9 years old. And my teacher tells me we're going to learn about chocolate. And I think, fantastic, we might get to eat some. But it's much more than that. It's much more than tasting chocolate. My teacher tells me, you're going to make your own chocolate bar. You're going to create a new kind of chocolate infused with a new flavour. And you're going to design the wrapper. You're going to melt the chocolate, infuse it in a science experiment to create a new flavour. And then you're going to sell it to your mums and dads and the teachers. But you've got to market it, you've got to persuade everyone that your chocolate's better than everybody else's. So off they go to the spice market by the creek in Dubai, and they choose their spices. So some of them, they're a bit wild. They go for chili. They like to put chili in their chocolate. Some of them go for ginger, others go for cinnamon. They try different things, and they taste them and smell them and think, yes, I'm going for chili chocolate, and I'm going to persuade Mrs. Turner that she should buy my chocolate bar when I sell it on my stall in the chocolate fair. And they do, and they work out spreadsheets, and they do maths, and they put their white coats on, and they melt their chocolate, they infuse the chocolate, and they make the molds, and they make a chocolate bar that looks like a chocolate bar that you would buy in a shop. Not quite, but almost. And the wrapper has been designed by them. And they stand there and they say, come and taste my chili chocolate because it's the best. And they're persuading me with their language. That's what happens in year 5. That's what we did this year with year 5 at my school in Dubai. But in reception, they made fruit smoothies. And they sold the fruit smoothies. They did a project that was developing their entrepreneur skills in reception class at 5 years old. And all of these things build and build and build throughout the school, so that when they're in the senior school, they're wearing business suits in the entrepreneur suite. They're having meetings around the boardroom table, and they are behaving like businessmen and businesswomen in the senior school. That's what we're going to do at DBS. That's going to be one of the things that makes Denver different. Nearly there, you're being a really good audience. Thank you for staying with me. This is one of the most important slides of all, because everything we're talking about today matters a lot. But it sits on this bedrock of what it means to be Thai. And I know that's very, very important to you. It's very, very important to me. Because all the things that you care about, I care about as a leader of schools. We need our children to behave every day in a way that's respectful. First of all, for themselves, for their friends, for their teachers, for the cleaners in the school, and for everybody who helps them, and with you, of course, at home. You expect that, we will expect just the same high standards of your children when they're in school. And the skills will transfer. Of course they'll learn to love their language, and they'll learn to use that. And they'll have the best manners. They will hold doors open for their elders, for their adults in their school. And they will say please and thank you. And they will smile. And they'll be kind to each other. One of the phrases that we use a lot in my school in Dubai is that we have a culture of kindness. And I know that translates very, very well into the Thai culture here. We want our children to be kind to each other. Sure, they'll make a mistake every now and again, but we won't say, that was naughty, don't do that again. We'll say, can you talk to me about what happened then? How could we learn from what just happened? And if we make every moment a learning moment, then we can really help our children develop those values that go deep down not just on the surface. They go deep down because they understand. Sometimes we all make mistakes, but as long as I can explain myself, understand what happened, and then learn to do it differently next time, a mistake is an opportunity to learn. And that's what we will do for your children. And of course, your children will be charitable and they'll do good things. They'll do good things in their classroom and in their community, and we'll take that wider when the time is right for them. So all of these things will be the bedrock for your children's learning. And this quote, I'd like you to just take a moment and read that quote, because Charles Darwin said, "It's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change." The one guarantee in this life is that things will not stay the same. And our job, our responsibility for our children is that we help them to cope with an ever-changing world. When your children leave school, the world will be a different place from what it is today. We don't know exactly what that will be. All we can do is give them the skills to prepare them for what will come. And at Denver we'll do that every day, but we'll do it in a way that's right for children. So I'd like to say thank you for listening to me this afternoon. And we hope that you will come on the journey with us at Denver British School and be part of this amazing project, because we really do believe that we can make Denver British School the best school in Bangkok, the best school in Thailand, and it will be the school of choice because it's got world-class facilities, the best teachers, the best leaders, and the best families who will come and join us and who will want these very, very high standards. Thank you for listening.